Hello friends, it's Allison Vanderslice and thank you for joining me in another cat calendar video. Today we're going to create a simple card using the image from the May 2020 cat calendar here. I really like the cats in the boat, so I'm going to use it as the focal image on the front, and then I'm going to take one of the small mice images and put that on the inside of the card for fun. To make it easy to work with, I'm just going to tear out that page. Of course, I make it more difficult for myself, so I'm going to flip it back the way it was. Take it out. I'm just going to come in now with a pair of scissors and cut around the image of the cats in the boat. I'm going to just try my best to get as much of that in there as possible. I did lay a card down on in front of it just to see where I would need to cut, but I did leave a little bit extra on the side because I was going to actually be doing some decaling. Now I'm going to take the craft card base that I'm using. This is a pre-made card base that I got off of Amazon, and it has a matching envelope. I'm going to lay the cat image on top of it just to see where I'm going to need to cut around, or decal the edges. If you have fancy craft scissors and you want to use that instead of pulling the paper, you can totally do that as well. I'm going to use a ruler just to give me a straight edge and a guide so that way I can decal these edges a little bit more smoothly. Now, I do recommend leaving a little bit more space to pick up the paper. It was kind of hard since I had a little bit of edges on some of the sides. You can see when I get to the side on the right where the border still is that it's easier to pull up. Since it's harder for me to start sometimes with my nails, I do use my reversible tweezers, or you can use any tool to pick up your paper a little bit easier. You don't even have to use the ruler at all. You can just pull it down by yourself if you feel confident doing that. When you are pulling the paper towards you, you're actually going to get a little bit of a white border or an edge to your paper. So if you don't like that look and you would rather it be more of the image color instead of the white, I would suggest turning it over and pulling it that way. So pulling the paper with the image facing down. That will give you more of a color outline. I'm going to just clean up the mess that we made, and then I will show you what that card front looks like. So there's a deckled edge. I'm going to pull out my silicone craft sheet and my liquid glue, and then go ahead and adhere this to the craft base card. I'm going to take just a scrap piece of cream paper since I think it matches better than white. And I am going to, again, just take my ruler and decal only the top and bottom of the paper. It was just a little bit big, so I needed to take off some paper excess. So I just thought it would be fun to add a little bit of a decaling edge to match the front. Again, applying this with liquid glue. You can use any adhesive that you feel comfortable with. I cut out one of the little tiny boats with the mice in it, and I'm just going to adhere it with liquid glue again down on the bottom left corner of that cream piece of cardstock in the center of the card. I was just going to leave it blank when I first started making the card, but I just didn't like that big space on the right hand side. So I'm going through looking at my embossing powders, and I decided to go with the navy since I don't really use these blues too much. I thought it fit perfectly with the color scheme. I'm going to heat emboss this big hello with that navy color. To do that, I'm going to get out my stamping foam, my anti-static powder tool, which I just rubbed on the card front, and then I'm going to use the Versamark clear sticky embossing pad to help adhere the embossing powder. So I will go ahead and stamp the big hello onto the card front, and then put the embossing powder on and use my heat tool to set it. I really do like the heat embossing portion of card making. It really is like magic. This big hello really fills in that space, and I do like how it turned out. I'm glad that I added it in there. Now I have to go over this with the bone folder a lot, and I even pressed it down in some books to make it lay a little bit more flat. And there's our final card. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed creating it. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you liked my content, feel free to subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!